Really great morning so far. I'm really looking forward to taking the next steps to making this day awesome and executing against some of the things that I'm really looking forward to doing today. One of the things I'm really excited for today is I want to go see what kind of quality optics and imaging solutions that like Walmart has so that anybody can get into filmmaking and travel filmmaking. First things first, right? So coffee. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
If at all possible, make time to read every day. Let's just spin to inside the store. So since I had to park on the garden side, I figured I'd just swing by the candles because my partner always loves it when I come home with an American home Yankee candle. So there are three options that are really standing out to me: the Canon T6, the Nikon D3400, and the GoPro Hero 5 and the GoPro Hero Session. What's great about the GoPros is that they, even here at Walmart, they come with a huge variety of accessories which are all super useful and great to have. So Walmart also has a really great selection of drones, and among the drones that they have, I'd really trust the Phantom 3 Standard. Alright, I'm gonna go home, and there, let's do a deep dive into those 3 or 4 options, as well as the drone, just to kind of get a really good full picture of what's available at what price points and how easy it is to get into all this. Hey, if I'm providing value for you with this video, please don't hesitate to like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Please, please, please go ahead and drop a subscribe and a like on this video. In thinking about, you know, all of these cameras, I added another one to the list, and that's the Sony Alpha 6000. So I really quickly want to run through, you know, what these options mean. If you have one choice for one camera, and you're going to travel, you're going to take cool pictures, cool video, wherever in the world, in whatever conditions, I'd say the GoPro is the best possible choice. Second best, I would argue, because I like Sony, is the Sony Alpha 6000. However, it's not as rugged and as durable as either the Canon or the Nikon. And in this case, I would really suggest that you go with the Nikon D3400 out of those options that are available if you want a DSLR. Because it has all of the options that make the Sony great, except for the autofocus points, but it also has some of those video options that extend its utility, like continuous autofocus and video, and 1080p 60, so you can have some slow motion in your 1080p files that the Canon doesn't have. Now the Nikon D3400, it has a really wide ISO range, which means you can get great shots even in low light, and you'll be able to use it in more situations more easily than you will the Canon T6. Now, the other really important side of this is burst rate, you know, so you're probably buying a camera because you want to be able to do everything with it, and so the GoPros have the best burst rates, especially the GoPro Hero 5 Black. The next one is the Sony with 11 FPS, but then I would, if you're really wanting that DSLR form factor, I would highly recommend going with the D3500 because that's a full 2 frames more per second that you'll be able to capture, and coming off of my first camera being the Rebel XS with 3 frames a second, it's incredibly slow and you don't actually capture much of anything out of it. So I would highly recommend just those couple extra frames per second because I think they'll make a really big difference. Finally, I want to talk to you about the Phantom 3 Standard drone, which you can also find at Walmart for about $500. On BH Photo Video, that price has gone down to $463, which is fantastic, and I think it's just over $500 with a spare battery if you want to choose that kit. It takes 12 megapixel photos, shoots 2.7K 30 frames per second, which is great for video. It can shoot up to 7 frames per second burst. It has HD video transmission to your smartphone. A couple of really great features it has is auto takeoff and return to home, and it also has a number of intelligent modes that can let you track things or set up a particular shot so that you can get a whole lot of really great video without having to be a great drone pilot. DJI says that it has about 25 minutes of flight time, but in my experience I get about 20 minutes of flight time. And really you don't need that much to get most of the shots that you're really going to want. That's more for fun. So one of the big things I'd recommend if you want to get a drone is to start recording video before you take off, get the shot you want, and then come back and land it, because you'll extend your battery life for much longer than you would otherwise have the opportunity to. And really, you don't need to work too hard to get a lot of really great shots out of this drone. Additionally, the DJI Go app, which is how you see the video out of the device and do a lot of those controls, is really good. I don't think there's a better app for any imaging than the DJI Go app, and it's really easy to see exactly what the camera is seeing out of the drone right there, right above the controller, and the controls are really great and really easy. I'd highly recommend, if you want to get this drone, going with staying in beginner mode for a while, and also really trying to challenge yourself on, knowing when you want to fly, how you want to fly, what kind of shots you want to get, and just exploring a lot environments that you're very familiar with the drone, and be really safe with it as well. Also, follow all FAA guidelines. I kind of want to wrap up with what would be the ideal setup for a trip. And I think that if video is important to you, I think you should absolutely go with a GoPro. There will not be a better way to capture that experience. And among the GoPros, I would actually recommend the Hero Session, or maybe the Hero 5 Session, because I think you'll be able to get so much more out of that device because of how small it is, but also how cheap it is. And both the Hero 5 Session and the DJI Phantom 3 Standard use the same micro SD cards. And I would also recommend getting a drone, because it's so much fun to fly, and you can get such incredible images out of it. It's really accessible, and I would really highly recommend getting into that world a little bit. But what it ultimately comes down to is, what do you need out of a camera and what do you want? I think the GoPro, regardless of the environment you're in, is going to be the single most versatile camera you can get. And even if you want to go with something like the D3400, I'd recommend picking up a GoPro Hero Session, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to regret that at all. So yeah, thanks for your time and for your attention, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.